Welcome to Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors. Talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors. Right here on Kello News Talk 1320, 107.9 FM, and KWSN 1230 AM, 98.1 FM, both out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo 104.7 FM. Today's Gone Outdoors is brought to you by Ray's Sport and Marine, your local Lund Boats and Bennington pontoon dealer in Moorhead. RaysMarineMoorhead.com. Adventure RV across from the Fairgrounds Inn, West Fargo, your number one RV dealer in the FM area. AdventureRVSales.com. Devil's Lake Tourism. Looking for wide open spaces, amazing fishing, and a refreshing escape? Discover Devil's Lake, where adventure, relaxation, and North Dakota hospitality come together. Plan your stay at devilslakend.com. The Outdoor Adventure Foundation. For over 17 years, the foundation has created life-changing outdoor adventures for youth facing life-threatening illness, injured veterans, and first responders. Learn more at outdooradventurefoundation.org. Strand Ace Hardware, Barnesville and downtown Pelican Rapids, proudly family-owned for 70 years. Valley Truck Gear, protecting your equipment. The Outdoorsman, and Onyx Fish Midwest, cast beyond the familiar. And thank you for joining us once again on Gone Outdoors Radio as we spend the next hour talking about all the things we love and you love to do outdoors. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen in. Whether you're working, whether you're playing, whatever you might be doing, we're sure glad that you are going to be spending the next hour with us. Yes, it's hot, Mr. Brewer, but you know what? 'Tis the season, right?
Yes, it's that time of year, but there is plenty of ways you can stay cool.
Well, I know you can
Plenty
stay
of them.
cool being in the water.
Yep, you can stay cool being on the water, going 30 miles an hour as you're buzzing to your next fishing spot. You can stay cool if you're out in the woods doing some foraging. Maybe not super cool, but it will be cooler back there. You get back in the trees and all the shade. So there is a lot of ways to stay cool. But if you can't get out and stay cool, make sure you're hydrating, please. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Get some electrolytes, whatever it takes, because we don't want anybody passing out because they were out enjoying the sun a little bit too much.
Yeah, if you're going to pass the fruit bowl around, make sure you grab an extra banana and get some of that extra potassium along with the electrolytes. It's all
Yeah.
good. Staying hydrated, you do that. And that's the beauty of these Lund boats that you and I own, Scott, is once you turn that engine on and put the throttle down, the air conditioning is running. And I
Yeah.
mean right away.
Yeah, and if you got a tiller like I do, if it's windy, you might get a mister too.
Yeah, you do get to have a little bit of that misting, cooling going on. It was awful fun last weekend. I know we did a Gone Outdoors South Dakota special edition for our South Dakota listeners. We were at Shields in Fargo for our KFGO listeners. We were able to broadcast there from Shields Hunt Fest. And really cool to see all the excitement going on with that event and just people
Oh, yeah.
thinking ahead to the hunting season.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of excitement for hunting, as there should be right now. And it's going to get more and more and more as we get closer to these seasonings open up. And it's not long before some of these seasons are going to open up. So if you're not thinking about hunting, you really should be.
Yeah, it's here. Prep time is here and getting ready. As we said last weekend, I know in North Dakota, early Canada goose is now probably 2 weeks away. I think Jess said at the time it was 3 weeks or another week down the road. So 2 weeks, boy, that's cutting her real close here in time to get things lined up.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Hey, we had a great week this last week. We had some fun with the Lake Agassiz High School Fishing League. We had our championship event. There were a lot of fish caught. This is a little bit different. So instead of each boat competing against the other boats that are out there in the same body of water, this is actually 3 boats from each school, and they work together and combine their scores to figure out what their team score is. And it just puts a little twist into things. It's a great way to end the season. There were a lot of fish caught. And next week, we have our end of the season awards coming up into 3 days here, Tuesday night. And we'll get to find out who the winner was.
Yes, we'll find out who the winner was. All of the winners from all the events will get recognized. The sportsmanship awards will be given out for each team. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening Tuesday night at Cheyenne High School. So if you want to see what high school angling is about, I highly recommend you just stop in. You don't have to be a part of a team to stop in. We would love to have visitors. If you're thinking about maybe being a boat captain next year, this would be a great event for you to go to. It's right here in town. Highly recommend it. 6 o'clock, Tuesday night, Cheyenne High School.
In the theater. It's going to be fun. You're right, Scott. And, so much fun things happening and so much fun things going on. And that is true with our show as well. And as we look ahead here, we got a great lineup of guests, Scott. Micah Thureen, the Dilworth Glendon Felton DGF schools. He is the high school team fishing coach. They're part of the Heart of Lakes division or Heart of Lakes League. And Micah does a lot. He does an incredible amount for those kids there and those that are on that team. And they got a really special event coming up, one of their biggest fundraisers of the season. So we want to get him on, and he's going to join us next segment. He's going to talk a little bit about what their team has been up to, which is always fun. And he's also going to talk a little bit about that fundraising event. Scott, we talked about hunting. We talked about how close the hunting seasons really are to kicking off here. And we're gonna just dive into that a little bit more. Matt Schneider, our good friend from Reveal Tactacam, he's gonna join us again. We had him on a month or so ago talking a little bit about trail cam strategy. He's going to talk about some trail cam features, things that are important, things we want to consider, things we want to incorporate into our set on our land to get the most out of our cameras. And then Brian Brosdahl, Bros Guide Service from over there in North Central. North Central, is that accurate?
Yep, North Central.
North Central Minnesota. He is going to join us with a fishing report. He's going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the waters over there this time of the year and how to capitalize on some of those opportunities, how to make the most of your time in the water and put some more fish in the live well. It's always great talking to Brosdahl. All of these are coming up on today's Gone Outdoors. Don't go away. We do have to take a quick break now, folks, but don't go away. We got a whole lot of Gone Outdoors ahead of us, and we will be right back. Onyx Fish Midwest, covering 11 states on both iOS and Android. All your fishing information is one click away. Searching for new destinations by species, abundance, or trophy potential, it's all at your fingertips, including access points and shoreline ownership.
You get confused by special lake regulations? They're all on Onyx Fish Midwest. Real-time weather for your exact location, aerial imagery, and waypoint management, all right to your mobile device. Use code BA Outdoors to get 20% off your subscription at onyxmaps.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Gone Outdoor Radio. You're listening on Kello News Talk or KWSN in Sioux Falls, or the mighty 790 in Fargo Moorhead. Scotty Brewer, Kyle Agre, Brewer Agre Outdoors. And we're going to chat with Micah Thureen. He is the DGF student angling team coach. And I think he's the only coach I've ever had, the only head coach, if I'm mistaken. I might be mistaken. How are you doing, Micah?
You're not.
I've got a lot of help, a lot of people to make it happen. So I just steer the ship, and they make me look good.
They do make you look good, and I think you make them look good too. I think it's a mutual effort. So let's talk a little bit about your team here for a minute. DGF, you're in the Heart of Lakes Conference. How many kids do you have on your team this year?
This year, we have ballooned up to 92 kids from grades 6 through 12, which is a ton. a variety of ages and abilities and everything else under the sun. So we have our hands full on a weekly basis for sure.
So, how many of your kids, once they get in there as a sixth grader or seventh grader, how many of them stick it out until they're seniors?
Ooh, I would say most. So this year's senior class was our very youngest in the program. And I have roughly about 16 kids that are seniors this year.
Wow.
And that's the most seniors we've had. Otherwise, it's been kind of steady throughout the years of, oh heavens, we graduate anywhere from 8 to 10 seniors every year, but this one is by far the most, which is fun to see that this many kids started the program and are now finishing their high school careers doing something that they love.
And it certainly is a testament to what you do, because those seniors, they are so busy. They really are. They got work, they got college plans, they have all this other stuff going on. And the fact that they still decided to compete this year with you, that is pretty amazing. You know, Micah, your team does more than just go fish. What are some of the activities that you provide for your team or your team puts on?
So at the beginning of the season, after we have a sign up to see how many people are in the program, throughout the month of April and May and part of June, just depending on how the calendar lies, we'll do a lot of educational classes on Sunday nights, bringing in various speakers from around the Midwest, talking about how to read lake maps, how to tie jigs and lindy rigs and slip bobbers and where to use them, things of that nature, just to try to get them from point A to point B and then from point B to point C. Hopefully we help them along the process of touching base on something they might not have known, or to be able to improve some of their skills that they didn't realize they could use some extra help on. And at that point in time, we will also have various field trips, whether we're going to Lund to see how boats are made from start to finish. We'll go to the DNR out in Detroit Lakes to help strip walleyes, which is an amazing thing of just Mother Nature to see that many and how big. And that makes us a little sad at how many fish are there that we've never caught. So that's always fun to see too. But the kids certainly get excited, and it definitely gets them all ramped up for the season, seeing 8-pound walleyes at their fingertips right there, and it just helps the motivation to get the season going. And we can't ask for that to happen fast enough sometimes.
Well, thank you, Mike. I know you keep those guys and gals really busy, and it's so awesome to hear that you are you're active with this club more than just a couple outings to the lake, and that's what's important. And Mike, I know that you know this doesn't just happen by itself. It takes a lot of planning. It also takes money and some fundraising as well. And you have an event here in just a few number of days that is kind of your cornerstone for fundraising for the year. I want to make sure we get a chance to share that with our listeners. Tell us a little bit about your corn feed.
No, absolutely. It's coming around the corner August 12th from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Buffalo River Speedway, just on Highway 10, just outside of Glendon. It's indoors, it's outdoors. We have 350 pounds of fish we're frying up. We'll have 2,000 ears of corn we're going to cook up. Free will donation on those items. Plenty of raffle items. Just silent auction items. There's just a ton of stuff, something for everybody. It's not just hunting and fishing. There's retreats, there's Airbnbs, there's just your everyday stuff. So from gift cards to anything else that you could possibly imagine, to jewelry, all these funds just help us defray costs, help keep things affordable for these kids to come and participate throughout the whole summer. There's so many programs that have a lot of costs, and we are just extremely fortunate to have a lot of support, both on the front side from sponsors, to just people showing up and participating at the end of the year event. That just allow us to grow tackle boxes, help fan a passion with these kids a little bit more to make them a little more excited about the following season. And it's just, it's fun for all of our volunteer boat captains to see how many people really do pay attention. And we have roughly about 45 boat captains that give us a hand on a weekly basis that make this possible.
Micah, I'm going to say if anybody is hungry that Wednesday night, I highly recommend you pop out at the Speedway. I've been there numerous times, and the fish is fantastic. The corn is fantastic. I mean, everybody's got to eat. You got to eat dinner. Just go there and eat dinner. And if you find something there out of the hundreds of raffle prizes and silent auctions that you have, then you can throw a little money down on that. And maybe you'll come out a winner. But I will be the first person to say, if you're free that night, I highly, highly recommend you go to this, because all of the funds raised goes to pay for the corn and the fish and all that first. But after that, it goes to help get all these kids out on the water. So highly recommend it.
No, if people want a free dinner, see some entertainment, come and see all these kids. And then see the kids that are not in the program that are excited to be a part of it, whether it's our program or a different one in the Heart of Lakes or even in the Lake Agassiz. It's pretty fun to see that sparkle in some of these kids' eyes and holy smokes, this is something I can look forward to around the corner. And it helps promote all the other clubs, even though they might not all be there, but it'll rub off on them for sure. So no, if people have time, we'd love to see you come and see these kids, listen to their stories. They're going to tell you it's a giant walleye. It might in fact be a stick, but you know what? They're getting good at telling stories. It's awesome.
Well, that's part of being a fisherman too, isn't it?
It sure is.
100%.
All right, Micah, if anybody would like to reach out, if they got any questions about the event, or maybe they got something they'd like to donate to throw in for some of your prizes, how can they get a hold of you?
They're welcome to call me at my phone number, 218-329-1632, or they can follow us on the Facebook page for DGF Fishing. They can message me there. Either one will work. We'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. It's anything and everything is always welcome and greatly appreciated no matter what.
Perfect. Thank you, Micah, for coming on Gone Outdoors, and thank you for all you do for our kids. It's much appreciated.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Stick around. We'll be back with more Gone Outdoors after this short break. This is Scotty and Kyle. If you're in the market for a new fishing boat, you've got to check out Ray Sport Marine in Moorhead. They've got a huge lineup of Lund boats, all powered by Mercury outboards.
From chasing walleyes to pulling the kids on tubes and skis, there's a Lund built for every kind of adventure, with a Mercury on the back to power through it all.
Visit Ray Sport Marine in Moorhead, just north of Menards, or explore their full Lund and Mercury lineup anytime at raysportmarine.com.
Welcome back to the second half of this morning's Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors, talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors here on Kello News Talk and KWSN in Sioux Falls and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo. Scott, we've been doing a segment a week basically for the last month and a half, kind of just weaving in a little bit of hunting conversation, getting stuff ready, getting our minds ready to look ahead to the hunting season, which isn't that far away. And we are really excited to welcome back someone we had on about a month and a half ago in the beginning of those segments, Matt Schneider from Tactacam. Matt, welcome back to Gone Outdoors.
Hey, thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Matt, when you were here before, we talked a lot about strategy in terms of when to put cameras out, where to place them, and so on and so forth. And you guys at Reveal, at Tactacam, since then have come out with a new camera. You got a couple, but one in particular that's really caught my attention. And I wanted to continue on with that conversation about strategy, because this camera offers some features that really, truly help us accomplish a little bit more towards what those goals are, right? In in capturing what might be out there that we're going to pursue. Tell us a little bit, Matt, just about kind of the philosophy that Tactacam takes in terms of bringing new technology to hunters.
Yeah, absolutely. So just recently, we just dropped our X4 and our Pro 4.0 trail cameras. And I mean, truly, it's a testament to what our engineer team has been doing over the past year and a half. They've truly taken this camera and ran it through the mill just to make sure like we are building the best product for our end user. And I truly think that this is the best camera that I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Tactacam. We've put this camera to the use, and truly like that Pro 4.0, it's by far the best camera that I've had in the field, and our engineer team they knocked it out of the park with this one.
You know, Matt, I personally am just in the process of putting mine out in our hunting land at the Agri Farm hunting camp. And so I have yet to really realize the full potential of what you and I were talking about the other day. And that's one of the features of this camera in its extended battery life. And I think as a hunter, you want to know what's going on, but also the strategy piece of it is you want to minimize your impact in your hunting area. And let's just talk a little bit about that battery life, because I think that's a significant piece of what it brings to people that are out there chasing whitetails.
Yeah, so the new 4.0 cameras, they actually have a different battery system. So they have a new flex pack battery system that almost looks like, you know, if you have a Milwaukee brushless drill, it's a battery system that looks pretty similar. It goes in and out, and truly like that system was built to make this camera a little bit more protected from the weather and the elements. So it fully like conceals this camera to make sure that there's no moisture getting inside there, you know, ruining your camera. But yeah, going on the battery life, just from the 4.0s, these cameras are doubling runtime out in the field. And I don't just say that. I'm currently running one out on our place, and I was just telling you guys a little earlier, I've checked the stats, and the last 30 days, my Pro 4.0 has taken 4,200 images, and it's went down 10% battery. And now I know that that's all weather dependent. We're middle of summertime, so it's not really draining the battery. But I'm truly excited to kind of put this thing through the test for, you know, our harsh North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota winters, because I know it can get brutal up there. But I'm really thinking that this battery is going to stand true to its word and doubling the runtime for the end user.
Hey, Matt, you're talking about the Pro 4.0 and the battery life. Is it the same on the regular X 4.0?
It is. Yep. The battery life will still be the same. And now it really determines on how you're setting up that camera. You know, the Pro 4 has a couple different modes that you can run the live streaming. It has the dual image sensor, so you have a daylight and a nighttime lens, and it's really just setting base. But the battery runtime is pretty much the same between the Pro 4 and the X4.
Okay, you mentioned weather, and you mentioned the different weather that we see up here in the Midwest. And so, you know, right now we're in July, beginning of August, and we're seeing temps up there, you know, tickling 100 degrees in a lot of part of the Gone Outdoors listening area. You know that in 4 months from now, 5 months from now, you're going to be, you know, potentially snow on the ground, and it's going to be sub-zero temperatures even beyond that. Are there things that we should do when we put our trail cams out, whether it be placement, whether it be just regular maintenance, that are going to help get the most life out of that battery when those extreme weather conditions hit?
Yeah, I think like what my future plans are with my cameras is really just making sure that there's an external, battery source attached to it, whether that be a solar panel or a new, we have an R5 and an R10 lithium powered flex packs for the new 4.0s. But truly, like that camera that I was saying, those stats about how I have 4,200 images and 10% less battery on it, that's strictly with just cheap AA batteries in it. There's nothing else attached to that camera. But now, like you were saying, when we set up cameras, we don't want to keep going in there, maintaining them, and then, pushing that, human pressure into our hunting spots unless we're actually going in the woods hunting. And that was our biggest complaint that we had from our end users is we need a camera that can stand up through the season, and we set it and forget it. And I think truly with this 4.0, you can get that. And, going into the late season, having a LiPo pack, having a solar, it's a great option to put on these cameras. But truly, I don't think these cameras are really going to need it to last all season long.
I love it. We've talked a lot about batteries, Matt. Let's just talk a little bit about some of the other features that people are going to see here in the Reveal 4 Pro 4.0 and the Reveal X4. What are some of the things that are going to be new to these?
Yeah, so both cameras, they will include live streaming. Like we said, double the runtime, selectable flash, so you can change it between low glow or no glow, depending on, your different hunting situation. But what I really love about the Pro 4.0 is that we have the dual lenses. So we have a lens that's specific for daylight images and one that's specific for nighttime images, just to make sure that you're getting the quality out of, determining on when that image comes through. That quality is going to be very, very noticeable. Along with that, on the Pro 4.0, there is zero delay for photo and video. So say if you have a photo and you really want to switch it to a video, say like I normally do that during the rut. You never know what's chasing that doe if it's running across the camera. So you switch that, and if you request a video right then on that photo, there is no delay. You will get a video exactly from when that photo was taken to 10, 15, 30 seconds, whatever you are requesting or what your camera is set up with. Those two features alone are really, really cool. My number one favorite on the Pro 4.0 though, is that it has a side LCD screen. So, all those funny images when you're setting up a trail camera and you're trying to like get the right angle and all of a sudden it takes a photo of you and you're like 6 inches away from the camera. That is no longer. You can set the camera up and open it up on the side and really just hone in that angle rather than trying to look at the camera, look back at where you're looking, look at the camera, and you have it on the side now. And that was another thing that our engineer team heard from our end users and ended up putting it into this new camera.
Love it, love it, love it. All sorts of good stuff, Matt. And as always, we appreciate you joining us. I couldn't help but think about looking at the back of your smartphone with the multiple lenses for multiple functions and getting the best image quality. And it's kind of the same thing, right? And where can folks go and find either more information or actually go look to purchase one of these new cameras you guys have brought out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have all of our new cameras and new accessories on Tactacam.com /hunt. But another thing too, I really encourage folks to go out to their local retailer and go pick up this camera and go see it for yourself. I'm a need to touch it type guy when I buy new products like this. So go to your local retailer and go check out the new 4.0.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you coming on Gone Outdoors.
Thanks, guys.
Folks, don't go away. We have to take a quick break now, but when we're done, we'll be back with more Gone Outdoors.
At Acme Tackle, innovation meets results, from legendary cast masters to proven trolling and jigging baits that flat out catch fish.
When it's time to finesse, power, or fill the live well, reach for Kalen's Plastics. Lifelike action, proven colors, and the soft plastics that fish just don't let go of.
And tie it all together with Elliott fishing rods, lightweight, sensitive, and built for anglers who demand performance on every cast.
Acme Tackle, Kalen's Plastics, and Elliott fishing rods. Fish smarter, fish harder, and fish confident.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our fourth and final segment on today's Gone Outdoors. You're listening on Kello News Talk, or KWSN in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or the mighty 790 KFGO in Fargo Moorhead. Scotty Brewer, Kyle Agre, Brewer Agre Outdoors. And on this last segment, we saved one of the best for last, Mr. Brian Brosdahl. Bros Guide Service. Brian has been a guide for, man, I don't know how many years. I don't want to date him, but he's been guiding for a very, very long time.
Lots of experience and wisdom.
Oh, yes, very much so. How you doing, Brian?
Good. I'm feeling my age today in this heat.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about this heat a little bit. You're out there guiding every day. The water temperatures are climbing. What's the water temperatures in your area right now? I'm sure
The different lakes I've been at, 77 to 80s.
Yeah.
And the fishing is starting to pick up. We had a real drop in the fishing because we had the third hatch of mayflies was giant on Leech, Cass, Winnie area. And so they fed so heavy on those things, but they're starting to use up them calories, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, and with the high water temps, that means their metabolism is really cranking up quick too. So they need to eat, and they need to eat a lot.
Absolutely. And so I'm starting to see it happen. Starts with the smaller lakes. The walleyes are moving out of the basin more and moving to the flats. And super excited to see that happen on Winnie and the other, big lakes around the area when they start chasing crayfish. And it's right after this. Now, they've been eating crayfish since June, but this is when they really focus hard on them for a couple weeks and looking for the soft shells or the ones that lose their skin, and the walleyes will root through. And they only have 12 hours and they start growing it back. So it's just a great time because we can use puppet minnows and eye candy plastics and start throwing stuff. I still bring bait. I bring leeches, crawlers, and minnows every day, but I love those days where you don't need to use it.
Hey, Brian, just with this, and I think you sort of answered the question there, but mimicking those molting crayfish, I think is something that a lot of anglers have questions about. And so are you saying that all of those presentations are really kind of trying to mimic what those fish are feeding on?
Absolutely. And I think, the Ned rig is it's simple. It's always bothered because it's such a simple thing. It looks like a cigar butt, or they make fun of it. They call it a TRD. Well, it's simple, but it mimics the molted crayfish. But you could also take regular plastics, cut the tail off, and just have more of a finger of plastic there, and try different colors. It's not always just brown, but if there's a little bit of orange in it, it's great. So like an eye candy paddle tail, you could ruin it. You just snip it off with the scissors and cut it short, and you don't have to get crazy with it. You just reel it in with a light movement here and there, and they can on this stuff. So it kind of came out of the bass world, an accidental thing, and this story's too long, but somebody was using the tails and saved the heads and put the heads on because they're watching their budget. Retired person named Ned Kitey, and so he used the tops and started out fishing the people at the tails, and that's where Ned Rig came from. And he was a in fisherman writer, but worked with him a few times. But so stuff like that, and they make a eye candy minnow with a little crease in it, so you know where to cut it to turn it into a Ned Rig. Pretty cool stuff. And there's a lot of different type of Ned stuff, but give it a try, and don't laugh too hard. It looks weird, looks so basic, but it works.
So, Brian, is that why the Ned rigs are so popular right now? Is that because of crayfish, or is it just because that's what
Yes.
everybody's using?
And I it's a kind of a correlation with the molted crayfish, and I really don't know how many times they molt, but I will say I've heard of people diving, seeing them as late as September, almost October, and then even in June, walking out of their skin. They're just snorkeling and they watch a crayfish struggle a little bit, then just walk away from his like a tent, and
Hmm.
and then when the fish find that, it's like super soft, and it's all protein. There's no shell, and it's just like eating a small walleye omelet for them, and they will go and eat those things, and then the big perch, everything eats them. Every fish in the lake eats molting crayfish.
So what kind of structure are we looking for?
Flats, any lake that has a good population of crayfish, all these structures and humps where they're greeting the mayflies in the deep water, now they're going to move towards that primary shoreline break off the weed edges. And some of these don't have a lot of weeds, these flats. They're just sand with a little bit of gravel here and there, and it's a great place for them to roam and pick off crayfish. Well, this is a good place for you to, drift or use your electronics and throw to the fish. And a controlled drift, using drift mode down these edges, you'll catch fish. And last year, our best half day, this is just 4.5 hours, we had 62 walleyes using this method. And that would be about a week from now. So I'm kind of excited for that. Instead of just grinding out trying to get a limit, I'm looking for the extra fish and the fun fish, the slot fish, and that we're getting close to that. Summer numbers are really good. It's not just fall or spring. We do really good in the summer. We get them back quick though, if you take a picture, because the water is hot and they are stressed out.
So Brian, what are your go-to presentations when you got clients in the boat? And I've been thinking about this a lot. When we take our high school kids out, we'll have 2 or 3 inexperienced kids with us, and we're trying to put them on fish. And you guides do this every day. So what are some of your go-to presentations?
I absolutely love the deep V underspin. It's got a little, some have gold spinners, some have color spinners, but the walleye color, the sunrise color, they're brighter colors. You can use plastics, but you can never go wrong taking a night crawler. You fold it in half and then put the hook through the bend, and then one more time, so you have 2 tails, and you control or cast folded night crawler, and you got those 2 tails there and that little spinner. I use the deep V's from now until Thanksgiving in open water, or until they salt the roads. Then I don't bring the big boat down, then I use a beater. But the deep V is awesome. You get 2 in a pack. The Smeltinator is really nice. It has high quality swivels and spinners, and it has a Gamaketsu hook. That's 1 for the price of deep V. So if I want to be economical, deep V is pretty hard to beat. But if I have to tell two colors, I would say make sure you get walleye, which is gold with the gold blade, and sunrise is orange chartreuse, and you're in really, really good colorations there. And then of course Fire Tiger is good because it has a gold spinner. They're all good. The pink one, I use that in the summer, and then I use it up at the Rainy River in the spring. I can get different sizes too.
Yeah.
There's some days you have to go faster trolling or drifting, so you want to make sure you have some quarters. And if the fish are on a flat that's a little bit deeper, then you want to make sure you have a 3/8. But there's just make sure you're set even down to an 1/8 if you're just going over the top of weed. But it's one and done. It's weighted. It's got a hook. It's got a barb to keep your bait on, and a spinner. It's just something for every time of the year. Or put plastics.
That's perfect. Perfect advice. Thank you, Brian. And thanks for all the info about the crayfish molting and about your lifestyle. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on
I
Gone
appreciate
Outdoors.
you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Special thanks to our show sponsors, Raysport Marine, Adventure RV, Devil's Lake Tourism, Valley Truck Gear, Strand Ace Hardware, the Outdoor Adventure Foundation, The Outdoorsman, and Onyx Fish Midwest. Thank you for tuning into today's Gone Outdoors. Follow along when you're on the water or in the field. Gone Outdoor Podcast. KFGO.com, KWSN.com, KELO.com, Apple Podcasts, or on Spotify. Visit us at breweragreoutdoors.com and follow us on social media. Until next week, from Scotty and Kyle. We'll be gone outdoors.